Hey everyone, my name is Lily and I'm the book blogger behind Utopia State of Mind, and I'm going to bring you my last of the 12 authors, 12 books. I think it's my last. I'm pretty sure it's my last. Of the 12 authors, 12 books, we're going to be chatting about my two sci-fi picks, which is Tract and Leviathan Wakes. Let me just get my copy of Leviathan Wakes. Let's start with Tract because I read that one sooner or later or earlier. I read that earlier. Tract was so fun because it is a YA sci-fi racing book, but also there's a lot of corporate bad things going on. I love those kind of two levels of the plot. Also, Tract is high action. There's a ton of action going on. It's one of those things where, sometimes when you're reading, you kind of zone out for a little bit. One of those things where when you zone out, you have to go back. There's just a lot of action that's going on. There's a lot of character movement within the action being like, oh, what does this say about me, basically? This was recommended to me by Eric Smith. Eric has written a lot of other books that I've really loved. My most favorite one recently is You Can Go Your Own Way, which is not a sci-fi. It is a contemporary set in a snowstorm, set I think in Philly, with two teens in a video arcade. But anyway, Tract was just so fun. I have not read a racing book in a very long time, and also sci-fi racing. I really enjoyed the kind of, I don't know how to describe it because I'm so bad at describing things, but like, it's kind of a VR racing. The main character starts off kind of in the traditional racing sense, but it definitely takes on more sci-fi as you go on and more as you develop the world. So if you're looking for a sci-fi racing book, which as I said, I have not read in a while, I think the last one that I can think of is Crown Chasers, but that is not necessarily only racing. That's a lot of other things. But anyway, Tract was so fabulous for all of those ways. The sci-fi vibes and the corporate stuff that goes on was really fascinating to me. I think that it's kind of like a subplot at the beginning that becomes more of a main plot at the end. It develops more like that. And I thought that was really fascinating to see, especially in this high-tech sci-fi world. It's also duology. So I think that Tract felt to me a little bit short. Like, it just went by really, really fast. Maybe it was just the pace of the writing, but it is a duology, so I'm very much thinking about reading. I think Marked is the second one. Next, I want to chat about Leviathan Wakes. This was recommended to me by Joan. I first want to talk about Joan's books, and then I'll come back to Leviathan Wakes. Joan, specifically Strike the Zither, has so much manipulative plot character work. I'm just in awe of Joan so much, and Zephyr from Strike the Zither is just such a fabulous, cunning, like clever main character who would totally eat me alive if I ever met her. And I'm very excited for Sound the Gong, which was recently released as a title for the sequel to Strike the Zither. So definitely check out Joan's books. And Joan recommended Leviathan Wakes to me, which I had been sent a copy of Leviathan Wakes ages ago by Orbit. I'm so sorry, Orbit, that I didn't read it then, but I read it now. Leviathan Wakes actually inspired the TV show The Expanse, so I'm definitely going to be watching The Expanse now. It'll also be the first in a series I want to do for 2023 where I read a book and then I watch the adaptation. So this will be the first one in that new series. I'll chat about that new series at a later date. But anyway, I'm very excited to be watching The Expanse to film my reactions to it. Leviathan Wakes, it's like high stakes, high paced action. I think that is something that Tract and Leviathan Wakes have in common. It's another one where like if you start zoning out, you have to go back. It's basically these two characters, Holden and Miller, and they are kind of like a would I say cynical, jaded detective? Maybe not, but definitely a detective. And then also a captain of a ship who definitely like could think a little bit more before he acts. But anyway, Leviathan Wakes has a lot of stuff about corporations, a lot of stuff about politics, a lot of action. So I think that Leviathan Wakes and Tract are just really great books to be chatting about at the same time. And I really liked Leviathan Wakes. I had no idea what to expect. I'd never seen a trailer for The Expanse. But this one has so much sci-fi action and plot, which I can't talk about without it being spoilers. But if you really like this feeling of being immersed in a series, a sci-fi series, which has a lot of ramifications, which I only know will get worse. This already has, I think you can see on the back, it's already has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 or 8 in the series. So definitely something that you can kind of sink into. I'm pretty sure they're all out. But it's very clear that there are going to be more ramifications, and I'm probably going to read the rest of these. Like, I really enjoyed being swept away by this sci-fi world. I think that feeling of being swept away by a world is something that I'm craving, and I felt it definitely with the Leviathan Wakes. And as I said, for the series that I'm going to be doing, I feel like I have to keep reading them. So yeah, those are my thoughts about Leviathan Wakes, and in general, that's the end of the 12 authors, 12 books project. I will not be doing another one of this. I know I talked about that in the last video. I will not be doing another one of these projects, mostly because I want to slowly transition my life from a very scheduled reader to a more moody reader. So I won't be doing another one of these for the future, but I'm thinking about bringing back the ones where I'm like, oh, for next month, vote and help me pick my read. I think I did that in 2020. I think, or 2021. And I haven't done that for a while. And that way I could pick like 4 that I want to read in the next coming month and chat about that. So I'm pretty sure I want to do that for 2023. Fingers crossed that actually happens. There are a lot of ones which I read from that series that I was doing, which I want to continue. Like, I think I read Strange the Dreamer for that. I would really love to read News of Nightmares. So, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, that's kind of a little wrap up of this project. Thank you so much to all the authors who contributed the titles. I had such a fun time reading these. It took me a lot out of my comfort zone, a lot of backlist books. It was just so fun in general. I would definitely recommend, if you're struggling in a rut, to ask people to help recommend books that you have never thought about to read. It really helped kind of kick my reading into gear and kick me into different genres and different areas. So I had such a great time. Thank you all for coming along on this journey, and we'll see what 2023 hopes to hold for us all. So have a great reading day, week, month, and the rest of your year, and I will see you in the next one.